Hello, people. Today I am reviewing a book called The Hunger Games. I do not have the actual book with me because I loaned it to a friend, but I basically memorized the book because they're probably the most amazing books I have ever read. Anywhere from a 13-year-old to a 50-year-old can read these. Anybody can read these books. Um, they are about the main girl in this story is named Katniss Everdeen, and she lives in a nation called Panem with 12 districts and one capital. That all the districts work for the capital, so each district has a job to sustain the capital's needs. And she works and lives in District 12 with her mother and her sister. Her sister's name is Prim. And her district's job is mining, and her father actually died in a mining accident, so that doesn't bring very good memories to her. And outside of District 12, also known as the Scene, is they have a lot of woods and hunting. So her and her best friend Gail, that they met hunting, they would always go out and shoot things and hunt and stuff, and they would just go out. So she had a lot of skills from that. And so one thing you need to know is that the capital once a year had a games called the Hunger Games, where each district would send a boy and a girl tribute would just be picked out of a bowl randomly, and they would go to these games in the capital in this huge arena that can shift to any climate you want, snowy, desert, valley, anything, and they would fight to the death. So on the day of the reaping, which is when they get picked, Katniss's sister Prim gets picked for the Hunger Games, and it's kids from age 12 to 18. So once you're 18 and you haven't been picked, you're out of there. You don't have to be picked again. But her sister, who's 12, got picked, and Katniss goes up for her sister to go to the Hunger Games, which is basically a guaranteed death. Like, she is probably gonna die. And the second tribute, the boy tribute, is named Peeta Mellark, and he's the baker's son. And so they both get picked for the Hunger Games, and everybody's crying, and they're like, no, you're gonna die! And so she does it anyway, because she's brave, and she knows she has skills that nobody else in her district has. So they go to the Hunger Games with their two escorts, Haymitch and Effie Trinket. Haymitch is the one remaining victor from District 12 that won the Hunger Games. None of the other people from District 12 have won the Hunger Games in history. So they're kind of like the underdogs. So Haymitch and Effie Trinket kind of guide them throughout this whole mess of things. And so they go on a train to the capital. They get fed like they've never been fed before, because District 12 has always had food shortages. They're always hungry. Everybody is like sticks because they're so undernourished. But so they get treated like royalty. They're on this train. They get a bunch of clothes, and these games are on TV. So all along the way, they're being broadcasted on TV. And Katniss starts to adapt to this lifestyle, and she's getting fed, and she's with Peeta. And Peeta, on live TV on an interview, suddenly says that he has a love for her, and she doesn't have a love for him. So this starts a whole new twist in the plot, where the two victors, they have to kill each other off. Like, everybody has to try to kill each other. And so they're at the games, and Peeta admits that he loves her. And that just makes her feel so bad. And it's hard because she doesn't feel the same way for him. So the games start, and Katniss comes off with a good lead. She hasn't died yet, and that's pretty good for her. And Peeta also hasn't died yet. So along the way, she meets this little 12-year-old girl named Rue, who reminds her of her sister Prim. They form an alliance, and they fight off people from other districts. So this is very brutal because everybody's killing each other. They're fighting for food. They're fighting for everything. They're fighting for water. The arena is set with a lake, and then off to the side there's woods. That's how I imagine it would be, and it just goes on forever. And they have these things called mutations, which are capital-built animals that are basically they're programmed to kill the tributes. And so they have to fight those off. They have to fight off the other tributes. They have to avoid dying of hunger and starvation and thirst. So there's just so many things that they have to do along the way, and this is just horrible. And they're all along the way they're being televised. And so this is a little sneak peek about what the Hunger Games is about. It has two other books called Mockingjay and Catching Fire. So I'm not going to tell you what happens at the end because you might just have to figure that out if you want to read this book. So like this video if I recommended this book to you. Thank you. Oh, and I can show you my poster. So yeah, I drew this. Thank you.